once again, we're going to take a look at Thanksgiving week on the feed, and what you're going to see is what I'm looking at. This is powered by the AccuWeather professional site where you too can be a pro. And we're going to show you some of the same tools that I use every day, but we are starting to get some clarity. We are going to have some travel delays, though, we think, from the Midwest toward the Northeast as we move into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as we track our storm. Now, the storm that we're tracking Tuesday and Wednesday looks like it's going to move toward the East Coast on Thanksgiving Day. I don't think it's a huge storm, but there will be some mostly wet weather along the East Coast. And then behind that storm, it's going to turn colder, and this was highlighted by our long-range team headed by Paul Pastelok and the crystal ball meteorologist Joe Lumber. He talked about that on our long-range segment last week, that as we got into December, it was indeed going to be turning colder. Now, let's take a look at the satellite here today. Let me put this on full so you could see it a little better. This is the storm that will be coming across the Texas Monday night into Tuesday, Midwest Tuesday and Wednesday, and East Coast as we move into Thursday. This is diving to the southeast, but we also have other pieces of energy coming in the northern branch that will steer this storm, and that's why there's still a little bit of complication moving forward. Listen, we're still, let's say today's Tuesday, about a week away, and my rule of thumb is I don't trust the modeling until all of the pieces of the puzzle come along the North American coast. That's when I start trusting things a little bit here. And I want to show you, let's go right to Monday. Now, this is the storm south of the Aleutian Islands. That'll be pushing into the southwest states as we move into Monday. This is European model. What the key to where this storm moves is this piece and this piece. Now, yesterday, the modeling, especially the European and even the American model, said that this was going to be a strong enough piece that it was going to kick this forward and weaken it as we get into Monday night and Tuesday. And then this piece of energy was going to come southward and strengthen, and then we'd have a big snowstorm across the upper Midwest as we move into Thanksgiving Day. Modeling has changed a little bit here. The other thing I want to show you is that while there can be some snow next week, it would mostly be across the upper Midwest, and here's why. We have what we call a split flow across the country. You have a northern branch and the southern branch. The southern branch, that has the moisture. No, that's not a good-looking M. But the southern branch, that has the moisture. The northern branch has the cold air, but you'll notice it's not really connected. The cold air is separate from the moisture in the storm. As I play this out, though, you will notice as we move forward, there is some connection Wednesday into Thursday. Here comes the cold, here comes the moisture. So ideally, just looking at this, it would be the upper Midwest, northern lakes, where if we do get snow next week, that's what it will be. The question is how's this going to play out? And there is some modeling differences. But I think they both show a storm coming out of Texas as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. So here's the European model. Watch what happens here. So what happens here is that as we get into Tuesday, this first piece of energy, this one right here, isn't strong enough to kick this northward. This moves along in the flow. This brings colder air into New England. But this system has to wait for this piece of energy. Now watch as I play it through. As we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, there's the first piece. By Wednesday morning, that first piece is all the way up towards James Bay and leaving. But the second piece is what's going to kick this storm east. Watch how it comes on through. There it goes. You see that? There it goes, the system. Tuesday night into the plains, and then Wednesday and Thursday across the Midwest. The American model, a little different. It doesn't even have that second piece of energy at all. It has it back in here. But what it does is it kicks the storm out faster. It's more Tuesday into Tuesday night, and by Wednesday, it's along the mid-Atlantic coast. By this time, the European has it way back across the southern plains. You see that? European, American. American has the storm here. The European has it well back into Oklahoma. You can see it a bit better on the surface map. There's the European on Wednesday evening. There's the American offshore. Look at the difference. See that Wednesday evening? Midwest, off the coast. So when you're forecasting, how do you make hay of that? What's the decision? I'm going to trust the European on this. I think it has the right idea. I think that what's going to happen is this storm's going to come out across the Midwest, out of Texas Monday night into Tuesday, and then Wednesday Midwest, Thursday along the East Coast. Now, I'm open for changes here, and here's why. Let me take you to this map here. So this is Monday evening. This is that first piece. Here's our upper low. Here's the second piece. Now, where are those systems right now? Let me show that to you here as we go to today. That first piece is up here. Let me go back. It's here. The first piece is up here, and the second piece is across Russia. It's not on the North American continent, is it? That's why we have to have room for this to change. But I want to give you a forecast here. I do think there's a storm coming out across the Midwest as we get it coming out of Texas and into the Midwest as we head into Tuesday into Wednesday here. So I'm sorry, this is Tuesday right here, right in here. So there's going to be some travel delays across the central part of the United States. There could even be some strong to severe thunderstorms within this red area. So this is where we're going to have the delays on Tuesday across the Midwest. Then the storm moves, weakens a little bit into the Ohio Valley. There may be some delays there. And your Thanksgiving Day, wet along the East Coast. The Southwest looks A-OK. But then colder air arrives the following weekend.